Gee, I will be the correct picking when we want for
Thank
later.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
But not disgrace us.
Never.
If you disgrace us like a Desmond or that picking went there for Kogi State, Yaya Bello, or Dino Melaye, my children, when they support you now, I go take you go back home.
I
Because
know.
we don't sabi our constitutional right. We go vote you, you mess up, we go use our constitutional right, vote you back.
And if I
Oga
do well,
Obi,
you promote me.
Oga Obi, no worry. You know, so I tell you, say, you be not be my favorite, but my children support you, and I support them. No worry. Your mandate, not be my pikin mandate when they give you. When Tiff Tinubu put for in hand, it is a hot coal of fire. No person when they hold hot coal of fire, when not they drop am. So it is either they give us my children mandate in peace, or they go release her in pieces. There is no two way about it. Corruption, rigging, rignology is stopping with this mandate. So Tiff Tinubu, Keyamo and Co, hear me and hear me well. My children mandate in your hand is a hot coal of fire. Is either you release it in peace so that we not go get a bacala for Naija, or you go release her in pieces because my children dey with Kelebe. If the judge or Supreme Court or Appeal Court una do wire, my children go wire una. So make una not blame them when e reach so. To avoid that, make una release our mandate in peace. If una not release her in peace, we go still collect her in pieces. If Nigeria Supreme Court or Appeal Court, if una not give my children their mandate for Nigeria, Allah, I go disgrace una for America. Me, with in my NGO and Amogo charitable organization, we go carry una go meeting.
When we want to presidency debate.
I finish that statement. I know wetin I go tell them. You know wetin I go tell them? I go tell them, say, shebi una know say my children una know they say that they do yahoo yahoo. If una no want make dem hack una, America, make una take tutu and poo-poo, make dem give us our mandate. Because if they not give my children their mandate, they go hack una. And make una not blame them all. So I know wetin I go tell them. So for peace to reign, because now Papa Obi say make them calm, they calm. The only thing when they take calm, now Appeal Court judgment or Supreme Court. If una disgrace una self with that wig una put for head, una come turn into corruption. Allah, una go see where, and if na this una go run come abroad. Let me tell you, my children go wait for airport. Some of them don't ready say they go buy una, they go prison. Prison for here, they go eat 3 square meal. They go give collect doctor. So they not go kukuma worry to do that. So make una let peace reign. No.
You to the para. You to the para.
You dey own me. You say you go host me. You never host me. I never even start. Make I come to my pikin.
Okay, relax. Esho, relax. Calm down.
I dey relax. And nothing they do me.
Esho, Oteri, because Oteri.
That
question we want ask GRV.
I go ask question.
Ask GRV. Now make GRV tell us what he want do. Since you say you believe in GRV, now we ask you the question now.
Pikin.
Leave the one where you take cut for now.
Wait, I just send them.
Thank you. Thank you.
For your show. Now they say this very election not be business as usual. I not tell them. Now this your show. I also tell them say our money when they take create private CBN, it go talk to sawdust for their hand. It not happen. And I also tell them say if they not let be, Papa God go do the 3rd plague of Egypt. But this time we go need their firstborn and lastborn. It not they happen. So my talk not before matter they put up.
Okay,
now,
so Esho, talk for this one now. We in Lagos State.
I want to tell them, Pikin, you got plenty work to do for Lagos. As for enter, you don't enter finish.
Amen.
That is settled. But you get plenty work to do for Lagos. First, you see that Apapa Road, when be nightmare, help me clear am. So that, because when I small, the time I dey secondary school, when I dey come Lagos, to drive from Mile 2 to Marina, all those places, na express, all of a sudden, some useless people carry container, they block everywhere. So when you wan pass that road, you go first of all take Panadol, take paracetamol. You go even carry some anti-injection for body because your body go pain you before you arrive. So you see, all these containers there, make una find village, make them go stay there. When they won't load, make them come there. That road not supposed to be waiting. So now my first question with that: how you waiting? How many days or how many months? You go see say that place clear. Number one question. Number two question. You see that seaport? There are other places in Nigeria that we can make seaport so that they go job opportunity go there for those places for our children. Calabar, Delta, and other places, and even Niger. How you and federal government go work together to make sure this is achieved so that we can discongest some of all these things and all this casala when they happen because of that one not going to happen. That is my other question. Then another question we say, as you see now, there are plenty of my children when don't graduate the Lagos. Some of them, they not graduate. Una call them area boy. They not be area boss I'm concerned. No. Those children, they are king, they are prince, they are queen. The only one I never give them an opportunity. So which opportunity won't give those street children when they go take come up for street so that they go fulfill their God-given destiny? Then when I don't produce great men and great women from AJ City, or some part of AJ City, when you see a man, now disgrace. They're not going to say all those are great footballers there, and that kind of place they come from. How they come out from there, go shine for the entire world, bring better name for us. And una close una eye.
Mama.
AJ City come down to waiting be your plan for AJ City and Maracot children. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Mama, this question, I think GROV, you don't carry barrel and paper, you don't write for ground, Abi?
Yes.
Okay, so over to you. Mama, you go answer your question. Mama, everybody they say your blood too hot.
I not go hot. No, wait, how you not go hot?
Mama, make the answer.
Why they hot? My children, they are intelligent, they are smart, they are hardworking, and they have resilient personality. They do election, una thief their mandate. That is one. And una when thief their mandate, now una thief their destiny. Una can't give their poverty, lack, and hopelessness that turn them to Yahoo pass and get, that turn them to Lojo and hookup, that turn them to kidnappers, that turn them to the Fulani herdsmen and the Boko Haram. So which mama, when he dey in rightful sense, when he knows say Baba God created children to become queen, princess, prince, and queen, and they are supposed to rule the world, because I know the Africa continent supposed to be the greatest continent on earth, and Nigeria is supposed to lead the other African country. But no, all these are Jegudu Jera that their hair don't color. They can't tell my children to this because they make they happy and not happy. He can't even predict say labor will labor in vain. My children really labor finish. He can't say he can't chief because he don't plan. No, my children can never labor in vain. Tutu, my children can never labor in vain. Therefore,
Mama, we don't hear this one. Make him answer the question. We be like say the way we go do this show, the next one I go do. Now me and you 1 hour.
That's all you promised last time.
No, 1 hour.
Now I won't draw my number for you. Make sure you
Good.
reach out to me.
We'll go find you if we won't find you. Now, if you drop your number now, the word will call you.
Because
Don't
I
worry.
mean,
We'll go find you.
if not better one call, I go answer. If not bad one, back to sender.
No wahala. We'll go. So, GRV, please, over to you.
Mama loves her children. That there's no question about that, and I think that's a beautiful thing. First of all, the Apapa question. Well, currently the federal government has gone to about 75% on the train, the cargo train that's connecting Apapa to Abuja. The state government is going to get involved under my government by getting more barges to get into the system, and also using dry ports, dry docks, Ikorodu, Badagry. Going to open that up. We want to reduce number of containers that are on the roads because we've lost too many people for too long, with all these containers tipping over, killing people's children, brothers, sisters, and that needs to stop. So in the short run, we're going to be using a lot of barges to move things out of Apapa at that access. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to do the roads. If you look at that Igomu road, right, I was climbing up to that bridge that's then going to Amurodofi. It's terrible. You see a situation where on a Sunday morning, I think I was going campaign, and there was a truck that the tires had broken, right, and the container fell. But tires broke because the road was bad, right? But the road is bad because it's carrying a lot of containers, right? And the load of the container, the roads are not built to carry those load of containers. So you have this chicken and egg situation and this system that keeps going on and on. So we need to get a lot of those containers off the road, right? And that's what I've talked about. The Apapa crisis currently, well, there are two things. One is the road, but there's one axis of it, which is the other part that's coming in, that the road has been done. It's just that Igomu axis, Jeremy axis, that roads are completely terrible. So the idea is we fix that, but then the call-up system, which is I think ETO system that they had, it worked for some time. But then human factor got involved and it broke down. Because there are a lot of people, in fact, too many people make money from the mediocrity of that system. Too many people make money from all of those trucks being there. Like a lot of money. I'm talking about billions, right? Over a span of time. So we need to engage the stakeholders again, enact a zero tolerance for it. Get to a point where if we set up a call-up system, when we set up a call-up system, people adhere to it, even though there are very stiff penalties. Usually what you see now is that there's a call-up system, and then people go pay bribes for their truck to come in earlier, right? So there must be a monitoring system that ensures that that call-up system is followed to the T, and there are stark consequences that are not human interfaced. So this goes back into intelligence surveillance that I talked about when you talk about security, right? I don't see, that's why I'm using the word intelligent. Intelligent in terms of heat seeking, in that, okay, we can say, in this your car is full, or there's only one person in your car, right? It can gather data based on plate numbers as well. So if you have a call-up system and you come there, or you come there and know your turn, there's a bill directly linked to that plate number and that vehicle, without you having to bribe anybody. There's already a bill waiting on your head. That way, people will be forced to actually follow their call-up and stay in that order, right? So that's one. She asked about ports across Nigeria. Lagos State, one of the reasons why Lagos State pushes for special status is that we get the opportunity cost of all this cargo that comes in here. Like we just talked about, our roads are bad. The traffic, I mean, look at Amurodofi, look at Jeremy Felodu. You come out of your house and it's like you're in a trailer park. These are places that were supposed to be residential places, but unfortunately that's not the case anymore. So we bear the brunt and the opportunity cost of it. So that's why we'll be looking for special status. But the fact of the matter is that we will lobby and push for more ports to be created across Nigeria, because that will make it easier for people that live in Lagos, in that Apapa access as well. Area boys, I talked about this earlier on when I talked about security. But I always go back and emphasize, like she said, These are people's brothers, sisters, potential kings, queens. They're not just agbios, right? Because that when you say that, it dehumanizes them. And I've said it every time. Last time I engaged with some of these young men, they just take that whole mask off of that whole alai business, and the conversation is always about we want jobs. One of them was a graduate from Suka. The other one that stood next to him was a graduate from Unilag in art science department. I have a video of this on my Twitter, and this has happened to me so many times. And all they want is jobs, right? So we're going to create jobs by giving them skills. Because a lot of people want jobs, but they're not employable. They don't have the skills. In the world that we live in today, it's not about the certificates you have; it's about the skills you have and your discipline and your capacity to actually deliver. So we're going to be giving people skills. And I said skill acquisition centers in each local government. We're going to do food for skill programs. So we know that if you come off the street, right, you might not be able to afford to eat that day. We know that if you come out of the street, you might not be able to take care of your family that day. Because these people live on a day-to-day basis, which is pretty much hand to mouth. So there's going to be provision, welfare package for that period of time that they're doing their training to ensure that they can actually, they're taken care of while they're getting these skills, right? And I've given examples of this. So I'm an architect and I also do construction. When we want to do good tiling, quality tiling or quality POP or quality screening, we get people from Cotonou, right? Or Togo, because they have the capacity for finishing. Now we need to get more Nigerians to have those skills and that capacity. And these are the kind of things I'm talking about. And then projects that are going to that local government, we will prioritize companies that will work with those young men in that local government that are products of that program, right? Because the idea is to create a circular economy where the money that comes into that local government stays in that local government.
Well,
And then I think our last question was about Jeremy Feludu, which clearly I've talked about that in terms of because there's spillover from Apapa and Amuodofin to Jeremy Feludu. So for us, it will be ensuring that the road network in Nigeria is good, handling the drainage system, because I don't know if you've been to Nigeria when it rains, it's terrible. It gets badly flooded, right? And then ensuring that we also have proper planning, right? I understand that there's no affordable housing in Lagos State. When I say for real affordable housing, so you find that there are parts of Nigeria where it's like sardines, right? Ensure that proper training system and create programs for youth to engage in, because the youth population in Nigeria is huge, and this ties into sports. Having sports programs, right, that go across the entire state and engage as many youth as possible to ensure that they're carried along and an idle mind does not become a devil's workshop. So I think that's my answer to all of that.
Well, I think with all of that, I would say that you have done well to have you've made up for all the time lost before
I'm so sorry
you come
again.
into the